Are you still cooking your sous vide, which we all love, in plastic bags? Not long ago, my wife came to me and said, "We're not doing sous vide anymore because I don't want my meat being cooked for 36 hours in plastic bag. I'm done with microplastics." And I said, "Well, I'm not done with sous vide because I like my sous vide, even if it does have microplastics." Well, I had to go to work on it. So what I've done is ordered in some silicone bags. Silicone bags are made with sand. They don't have microplastics in them. I've gone through a couple, but this one is I'm just trying this out. This is made by Apple Core, I think. I got this one because it's big enough to put a roast in it. So we are going to put our chuck roast into a silicone bag into the sous vide machine and see how that comes out. Now, this chuck roast 15 minutes ago was frozen hard. I just brought it in because we're planning ahead. I'm going to cook it for 36 hours-ish at about 135 degrees. Low and slow is what turns a chuck roast into a medium rare, amazing piece of meat. We do not use a lot of seasonings because we're focused on low inflammatory foods. So our meat is pretty much always seasoned with just salt. So we're gonna put salt on this. What I did, it came into the house and it's wrapped from the butcher shop, and I just put some warm water on it and got the wrap off of it and made it just moist enough that we could get the salt to stick to it. And we also like the Lakeshore shallot and herb blend from the Spice House. It's about the only spice we use because it gives us pepper, but it gives us pepper in the form of green peppercorns, which are not inflammatory like the black peppercorns are. And we have found that this spice serves almost all of our needs perfectly. My wife has a full cabinet of spices. She's always had a lot of spices. Pretty much our spices now have come down to salt and Lakeshore Drive. Salt is what meat does best with. So this is still frozen. Now, when you're doing sous vide, you can do frozen because guess what? In a couple hours, this is going to be thawed, and then it's going to cook for like 30 more hours, 35 more hours, and it's all going to work out just great. I played with a couple other silicone bags, but they're kind of the wrong size. So I got these big ones. Let me wash my hands. Okay, so I got this big one, and what you do, this does not vacuum seal. We are going to simply water displace this as we put it in here. Cheryl, come around to this side. I think that'll work better. So we're just going to lower this in, and the water is going to displace the air. We'll just tilt it down where I got the water heated up. And there we go. And what I'm going to do is they sent me some of these magnets, okay? These magnets are also non-toxic. We're going to take the magnets and stick them to the side of this. Ooh, that's cool. We're going to hang the opening over the top, but all the air has been sucked out of this. We're just going to take another one, put right there, pop that there. That is going to hold. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I think this is going to be great. So pretty much all the air is out of it. It's close to vacuum sealed. And now we just have to close the lid. We'll set our ANOVA. This is the basic ANOVA 2.0. I'm going to set it for 136 degrees. And I'm going to set it for 36 hours. So I'm planning ahead. When you do sous vide, you have to plan ahead. So this will be ready, Tuesday morning? Is that right, Cheryl? About 36. Okay, that should be about good enough. Now, it can be plus or minus when you're cooking meat like this. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so that's going to be ready for us in about a day and a half. So planning ahead our meat recipe, having our meat cooked ahead of time, there's going to be no smells in the kitchen. And in 36 hours, I'll come back and show you how amazing this came out. And we will just confirm that this cool silicone bag was a win. So, moment of truth. Cheryl did not let me peek at this until we got it on video. So we've been about 36, probably 37 hours now at 135 degrees in the sous vide machine now. And we are going to just reach in here. The water's hot. Oh, we're going to take these magnets off. So the magnets are key to this silicone bag working. They hold it down. All right. And this was big enough to go over the edge. Now, the only negative I see to this, well, a couple. One, this is a really big bag. They make a smaller bag, but you cannot buy them by themselves. You have to buy them in a kit with two of these bags. And we also have a bunch of juice in here, so we're gonna have to deal with that. And we're gonna have to wash this out, but that's okay because we're dealing with microplastics. Look at that. We've got, well, you can't see that. I'm gonna pull it out, and then I'm gonna save my juice, and we'll make a little sauce out of the juice. So remember, there was no water in here when we started, so This chuck roast we bought it locally, so it's grass-fed, grass-finished. We'll say that it is now. And then we have a bunch of juice. Can you kind of shoot down here, Cheryl? So we got a bunch of juice, so we're going to save that. So we have sauce to put. Okay, we'll just pour that out into a jar here just a minute. I got to make sure that we don't lose it. So we'll just look that over the knife stand here. Okay, now, if you want to, you can go out and sear this on the grill, but I don't think we're going to care about the sear because it's not like a steak. So I'm going to take this and cut it in half. We're going to see what we have. It should be medium rare. And we'll see what we have. I don't know, but you know what? It looks as good as when I put it in the plastic bags. Now, remember, the benefit is we don't have any mycotoxins. Mycotoxins. Okay, here we go. How's that look, Cheryl? Well, I think it looks pretty good. So, and the only thing we seasoned this with was salt and Lakeshore from Spice House. All right, so this is a chuck roast. This is going to look very different from the chuck roast y'all used to eating because it hasn't been boiled to death and steamed to death in a crock pot all day. It's been slow cooked for 36 hours. And it's medium rare. Now, you could make this more done if you wanted to. But let's see how we did. Okay, this has got a nice piece of fat on it. I don't know how they do this on cooking shows. Now, it needs a little bit more salt, so I will salt it when we eat it. Benefit is just plain, so now you can add whatever you want to this. You put it in the crock pot, you've got the onions, the potatoes, the carrots, all of that. Some people may or may not want those, so you could add those to your dish. You can season this however you want to now, but what we have is a great piece of chuck roast. Okay, that's nice and tender, and no microplastics. We're going to keep playing with these bags. I think that's a win for us, that one.